Hey there, everybody. Happy Saturday to you all. It's time for us to jump into more Pathologic 3, and let's see if hopefully the game doesn't break on us again. We should be back in the actually, would we be? Yeah, we should. We're in the still water, right? Because that was we moved from the still water to the square. I had done some trading. Did they have the package this day? Maybe they did. Package is 10, so that's 2 stacks of the nuts. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's get this. Do. Interesting. Let's undo that. Split. Trade. And then we'll do... I don't recall... Do I already have... No, I don't have the recipe for that. I don't recall seeing it before. I don't want to trade that. I just got it. 5. Yeah, I can't afford the bullet unless I want to try trading more. Whoops. Move. Split. Okay. And then use that, which gives us... Huh. Yeah, so that should count as a new recipe. I don't recall that. Maybe I like didn't pay attention. Maybe it was a recipe I had last time, and also just a little bit of a struggle with these trees, apparently. Generating foliage, but not the actual tree. I do want to make sure I loot these because this is going to be a valuable test for next time we come to day 5. Will these still have stuff in them? My thought would be... So there's 2 ways you could do this. Because what's going to happen is I've got all the stuff that I have right now in my inventory. Let's actually stack... Move. There we go. I've got all the things I've got in my inventory right now. And that's going to be... once I, like, go back in time, that's going to be available to me the next time I start day 5. So I'll have 4... actually, hold on. 8. I really wish these would auto-stack. 8... health tonics, 30 matches, way more matches than I need. And so on and so forth. And so I think that if it's being saved, one way you could think about it is like, no, you're going to have limited resources, which means that as the let me pause because it's literally about to send me into a little like cutscene thing. Like one way you could imagine this is the items that exist in the town for that day. That's all you get for that day. It's like once you loot a crate, the items are gone. It doesn't respawn. That would match what I've seen so far, which is when I started this day, I had already looted there's a bed you wake up in, then there's a set of drawers nearby which has like a few useful items to start the day with, and those were all empty. So it would make sense if stuff is like taken, treated as being permanently gone, and so you only have a certain number of things per day that you get to work with. And if you retry the day, like, okay, but you're then digging into that stock of resources. So that's one way I could think about doing it, and so you're kind of like limited by how many attempts you can make on a given day. The other possibility I could think of is that like it's just the ones that are like right next to the bed that happen to be, but like once you restart the day, the game kind of adds stuff back in, and so you kind of effectively have multiple resources. What I think, I am loving this game. It took me a bit. I'm trying to remember if you've played Pathologic 2. If you have not, anything I try to say won't make sense. But I was a huge fan of Pathologic 2, and was kind of uncertain about this game coming into it. Never even heard of it. So Pathologic, the first one, which I have not played, was a game in which you play as basically, to like really sum it up, you play as a doctor in a small town in the Russian steppe that is like hit by a like mysterious plague. And you're trying to, you're one part of it is survival game. You're trying to just like keep yourself alive because you're dealing with hunger and sleep and getting infected and stuff like that. And then also like doing various things. And so Pathologic 1 had 3 characters you could play as who then sort of tackle the town and the plague in different ways. And so Pathologic 2 was kind of a remake of the game from the perspective of one of those characters. And Pathologic 3 is, again, kind of a remake of the Pathologic 1, but with a different one of those characters. And so you can do 2 and 3. They are in some sense separate, but they do also like harken back to the prior games in ways that are like, you know, somewhat indirect. Like if you knew, you would recognize like the reference or something that's different. But if you haven't, you're not going to be like lost any more lost than you are playing the game. So Pathologic 2 was kind of similar in it being like a survival game, dealing with all of these meters you need to manage. Pathologic 3, interestingly, feels much more like a kind of combination horror and horror puzzle. I guess that's the best way to put it. Probably the best way to put it. There is some survival stuff in there too, but not as intense as the first game. All right, fingers crossed. Please do not break on me again. Okay, I think we're good.
He looked like a man obsessed. A man in love. In love? Yes. Lovers know no obstacles, do they? What? You want to know who he was in love with? It's what, not who. His mission. His dream. His Nautica.
Anyway, why do they keep insisting you brought the sand pest to the town?
Because they're stupid. They confuse the cause and consequence.
Are you the consequence?
Are you the cause? Just do me a favor and shut your mouth, please. Can't you see a professional is working?
Let me go into this. So I safely pause. So that writing project. It's probably best to like sort of go over the scope of what I have in mind, and that might then answer your question. So I sometimes watch various like gaming YouTube channels as way to like pass the time. So I was rewatching one pretty big channel called The Game Grumps. So don't know if you're familiar with it or not. It's not a huge deal if you aren't, because that's not a load bearing thing. They do mostly like comedy stuff with like, as they talk over gameplay. So they're playing a game. Okay, you even if you've only heard of them, that is sufficient. They were playing Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Also not if you're familiar with it or not, also not load bearing. What happens? All it simply was that they were near the very end of the game, and they okay. So that one you're definitely familiar with. So they're near the end of the game. They're at the final boss, and before you face the final boss, there's a like pretty long cutscene before that fight, and so the person who was playing it was not great at video games, and so when he got into the fight, he ended up losing. I think he ended up losing, might end up losing again, but of course, each time they would get to the fight, they'd have to rewatch the cutscene. And you know, it's they're like, yes, we've been over this, and so on and so forth. So they're kind of like doing this whole like, look, why can't I skip the cutscene kind of thing? And so one of the guy who's not playing, and he's a guy who's like very interested in game design and like wants to talk about it, but is not like formally trained. Which doesn't mean like he's like, you know, unequipped to talk about it in any way. It's just that there's kind of like a lot of extra work you have to do in order to like come up with ideas and articulate them in a way that actually like makes sense and is coherent. So they're you know, why are we doing this? And so he basically says that, oh, this is probably intentional. That this is a way for the developers to like discourage you from messing up in the fight. Is if you lose the fight, you know, get a game over, you will have to rewatch the cutscene in order to do the fight again. And so it was like that claim kind of gave me pause, because what it means is that this one little thing was done intentionally for a specific reason. And it kind of just didn't make sense, because the idea is, you know, if you're playing a game, you've seen the cutscene before and you want to skip it, often games give you the opportunity to skip it. They don't always. Sometimes they do. Sometimes there are different rules. It's like, oh, the game might recognize you've seen a cutscene before and then let you skip it. There's all sorts of different ways in which that kind of stuff has been implemented. And yeah, that's the idea is like, you could just as easily explain this as something like, the devs didn't think, you know, putting into this huge game, like that there would be a need for putting in like a cutscene skip option, or they thought about it but they weren't sure how to implement it because maybe they experimented, but you then have to, if you make an option that anyone can do from go, well, you run into the problem of the player accidentally skipping it, and then they have to go, you know, reload their prior save and go backwards and everything like that, which might be even seen as like more annoying. And so they're kind of like weighing different options. And so either A, they're making a choice to leave it out, or B, they just didn't think about it at the time that they were making it, and it's like only with hindsight do we realize, oh, it probably would have been helpful to do this. So the idea of that sort of pathologization of design is that that claim of this is intentional, it is meant to punish, is essentially kind of an element that I see in a lot of other discussions about sort of game design, where because a game is a created work, every single element was kind of like consciously put there, and consciously put there for a specific reason. And it's that, like, you can also consider the like, you can call all of it design. And so it's not whether it's design or not that's the issue. It's the presumption of intentionality behind it. That something which can, because there's, if you think about any project that any of us do, we often make mistakes. And so imagine if every mistake that you ever made was kind of like dissected to infer an intentionality about why you made it. And that's kind of the issue, is that it's an approach to understanding creative works which kind of, I guess, like takes us way too far. And so what I want to do is just explore that idea. Is like, look, we probably need a better way to talk about design and like ask questions about, why did the developer do X, Y, Z through the lens of, okay, first of all, do we actually think X, Y, Z are things that were done for a specific reason, as opposed to it was an oversight. It was, it was something they put together to start and then never like ended up replacing it. They wanted to, but couldn't replace it because they didn't have time or budget or what have you. There's all of these elements that have to be like factored in that have the potential for removing intentionality. And actually, one of the things I really want to talk about in that essay is the fundamental fact that so many games are not made by a single person, but by a bunch of people. And so, talking about then like creative works, about story and narrative and world building and stuff like that. We talk about like the authorial intent and there's usually like a creative director who does have like a, provide like a vision for everyone to try and follow. But the problem is, even when people think they're on the same page, those details can be different. You and I can talk about a subject and we think we're having the same conversation. We think we're talking about the same thing, but there's like just that like fracture, a little bit of a fracture that means we're kind of not quite of one mind. And that's true just in human conversation in general. And so it's going to be true for any kind of project in which you have multiple people. And so when we then get to, dissecting like interpretation about like, well, why does this character have this line? Why is this character described this way? Even though they're like described a different way later on, like these things don't seem to match. And so there's all this attempt to like pick apart, infuse meaning to every single line of dialogue without consideration for like, hey, sometimes there are mistakes. Sometimes that, somebody writes something thinking they are like in line with the creative vision and they're not, and it just gets, it sort of like doesn't get noticed. And so trying to like make something that fits it all together is a fundamentally like broken approach. And it's better to kind of like stop and step back and like take a deep breath and say like, look, in order to like put these things together, we have to acknowledge that some of the pieces just won't fit. And so we have to figure out how we're going to know when a piece does or does not fit so that it can be incorporated. I think about this in particular with things like, I play a lot of the From Software games of like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, and there's known to be like translation errors and stuff like that, which already impact stuff and has impacted interpretation. And then you sort of you add in, the fact that you got a bunch of people working on it, and one of the things I wanted to explore, in line with what I was just talking about, is how sort of everything is talked about for those games through the lens of the creative director of those games, Hidetaka Miyazaki, and sort of like, well, Miyazaki like probably meant this or probably meant that by this line or this, placing this enemy here. And the fact of the matter is, like, Miyazaki probably didn't like write that line, probably didn't choose to put that enemy there. That's Miyazaki saying, I want you guys, all of you different people doing these different things to kind of like, here's what I generally want. And then them going out and doing that stuff and him like checking in on things, but not like, I must like take a set of tweezers and like put everything, every blade of grass in its place and stuff like that. And so, and so I use the term sort of pathologizing. One moment while I get rid of this bot. So I use the term pathologizing to describe this way in which, kind of the idea of design in and of itself kind of encroaches upon how we understand and talk about games. That the idea of something being designed becomes so all-encompassing that we think of everything as design, not in like a very generic way, but in a like very direct and intentional way. So that's why that's like what that means and what the idea is. And I've still have yet to sit down actually, I think I have started that essay, but I don't think I've actually like done a whole lot with it. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad you find that interesting, and yeah, I now find myself thinking about those kinds of questions as well now when I'm playing stuff. I think at certain points, especially as you get like more aware of kind of the games and how they work, you start finding those questions popping up. And interestingly, let's go upstairs real quick to confirm this, but Ava's not. Oh, no, Ava's there.
Tomorrow shall not come, unless you want it to. Do come home.
It's always been the quietest. Now it feels like an angry mob is building barricades in the garden. Actors performing their... Interesting. I never actually... I can see that. I think I did say puzzle stuff, but the puzzles are a little, I mean, they're not as like focused or frequent as something like Myst. So like an example would be, for this day, like the day I was on just ended, but I had these 3 patients who were sick, and they're all infected by this mysterious plague, but they're also sick with something else, and so I needed to figure out what they were sick with. And so you do things like say, you talk to them about like what happened, like when did they get sick, and kind of their medical history. You examine them to see like, do they have any like bruising or splotches on their skin or anything along those lines. And then you might, in certain cases, you also might like go to where they live to like investigate, their food and stuff like that, and gather more clues. And then you sort of cross-reference all those pieces of data to figure out what their symptoms are, because some of the symptoms it seems like they have might not actually be symptoms, like a bruise, for instance. Like a bruise could be a symptom of a disease, or it could be, you banged your arm against something. And of course, that's what happens when you do that. So you have to figure out which are real symptoms and which are false symptoms, and then like cross-reference all that to figure out which disease they have. So that is puzzle solving. But you're only doing that for something like, it feels like 20-ish% of the game, and admittedly, you are kind of like, we're actually gonna be testing this tonight, but you're kind of engaging in those puzzles with the intent of solving them so that you don't have to solve them again. Because one of the things I can do is I can like replay days, and by doing that, theoretically, I don't know this for sure yet, we're going to test this, is those patients will have the same diseases. So rather than spending the time, because it spends actual in-game time, to talk to them and inspect them and go to their houses, to just say, this person's sick with this person's sick with this person's sick with this, done. And now I have like an extra 4 or 5 hours in the day to go do other stuff, which I need to do because there's a lot going on. That part is in a way, because when I would think of like Myst, I would think like it really is focused on the puzzles, and this game definitely, I would say it's not focused on the puzzles at the end of the day. I feel like it's more focused on like kind of like trying to manage your time so that you can complete various objectives. But one of the things I was a little taken aback by with this bit of dialogue here is that this is suggesting, so at 2 a.m. is basically the end of the day. And basically at 2 a.m., the game transports us to the Stillwater, which is the district where the house we're staying in is located. And it plays, like we just saw not too long ago, that little vignette. And so like there are those three characters. One was sitting at a desk with his back to us. That was our character. That was the bachelor, Daniel Dunkovsky. And the other two were like the other two doctors from Pathologic. The guy on the left was Artemy Burak, the Haruspects, and then the girl on the right was Clara, the Changeling. And so those vignettes play at the end of each day, but I wasn't sure. I had assumed that those were kind of just like in Dankovsky's head, or even just like those potentially existed for us as the player, but weren't like real, quote unquote, to Dankovsky. And so now this is suggesting, nope, those were actually happening, at least happening in a way that like Dankovsky and Ava both see them, or at least hear them. I think Ava, I don't know if Ava saw it or not. Um, theater produces the audience. Observer affects the experiment. Only in the theater are there observers on both sides. Some sort of stage, some sort from the stage. Watching something defines it. A spectator may think they're uninvolved, but that's a lie. At this rate, we'll end up saying the spectator is also the author, which I think is part of what this game is going after. For context, again, step back. I may end up spending a lot of the stream talking again. I've been under the impression that one of this game's main themes is exploring the idea of when a player makes a set of choices about a character, that results in a different character. So you think about, any game where you make choices about, like, am I going to play a good guy or a bad guy or what have you, especially if you're talking about like a character who has like a defined background. Like they have a name, they have friends and family, and people can say like, oh, you were like this, and so that kind of like pre-definition, there is then a character, and then you as the player have a chance to direct that character in ways that result in a like multitude of different versions. And it invites the question, and I think players sometimes end up asking questions like, well, which one's real? Which one's canon? Which of those is actually the character? And I think Pathologic 3 is exploring the idea is like, they're all the character. They are all reflections, and that there is, in fact, no real character underneath, but instead that character only exists through the kind of interaction that the player creates, and the interaction with the player themselves. And so this would fall in line with that idea. Is like the spectator, the audience, the player in this case, is also an author of the story of the game and the story of the main character. Real life and performance are mirrors set up face to face, and there's mirrors again. Mirrors and reflections are a big theme, it seems like, and so that's part of why I'm thinking that's what's going on here. They endlessly repeat reflections, but in truth, they just capture a light that exists somewhere beyond them both. Once thought Immortel was Mark's pseudonym, and it was, well, a bit much, but turned out it's his real last name. He's so desperate for the stage to stay truthful that he's accidentally forgotten how to lie in everyday life. Ask to quiet it down, get some sleep. But I did get amalgam. Okay, I was a little worried that I might not get any amalgam from talking to Ava, but it looks like I did. So we're going to go back to day 4, because I have notes on day 4. Going back to that conversation I was just having a moment ago, where I can, because we figured out the we have our 3 patients at the hospital, and we figured out what their diseases were. Permission to work in the hospital, sure. One thing we're going to try and make sure to do is test. If I don't bother like talking to people and examining them, if I just say this guy has this lady has this person has this, is that still going to be correct? And will the game punish me in any way? Okay, but first thing I need to do, let's see. So we're going to keep this for now. I would also like to... Oh, I see. I see what it is. Red lines can... The gray line's contagion? Wait, what? Okay. I see. Yeah. So I don't need... That. So what if we got more medicine instead? Let's worry about that at a later point in time. Oh, I need to go to the clock and get my loot. Whoops. Did not save health potions. That's unfortunate. Maybe I didn't have any more. Let's... There's nothing in there. Right. I already used it. Okay, so what is that? Swevery? Interesting. Bile. I don't need... Oh, okay. Split stack. 1. Split stack. 1. Split stack. 1. 6. Trade those, which should let me make that. Alright, well, we at least have a...
The dead. My chest ache.
Okay, so I've already gone through this conversation, so I'm... Oh, that's not what I was really intending. Okay. Alright, so first thing I want to do is go to the cemetery. What? What? Get past you guys. I should probably take one of these.
So be it.
Grab the shovel. Oh. This, I remember looting this box. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? It was somewhere over here. There was a bell over it. I thought it was that. There we go. What? I think I need to not make... I'm going to try something. Let's go main menu. Let's... Yeah. This should be start day 4. So let's not worry about making medicine quite yet. Let's, in fact, let's even ignore Grace. Because we already know this stuff.
Every creak,
That.
like a gunshot.
That. And so now let's go to the cemetery. Because maybe the issue... Go, go, run, start running, sprinting, please. Oof, okay. Still takes a while. I am not... I'm aware of the forest, but I've never played the forest. Oh. The bell means he's still alive.
I'm a simple man. Why talk when you can fight?
Okay, there we go. I think that's going to help. Weigh a scale down with my sins, the ones that nearly got me killed twice over. What could oxygen deprivation do? Yeah, it's like survival horror crafting, right? You're like gathering resources to then craft like a kind of base of operations, and I know of the horror part, but I don't remember like how often that comes into it, because there's like other people on the island that like are trying to kill you. But I don't know if it's like they attack you now and then, or if it's more like, oh, you part of one of the things you're doing is you're exploring and like going into like where they live to like get their stuff. Okay. Got the amalgam. Got it. Okay. Horror, psychological horror. Classic. Oh, there's Grace. Alright, so now let's go to the hospital.
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
That one does not have stuff. Amnesia vibes. I am not as familiar with amnesia. Wait a minute. They're just completely... That's interesting. Wait, is this also... Yes. Oh, wow.
One sparrow is not enough to feed 12 mouths.
Interesting. This picks up where it left off. I wonder if that's a bug. Because when I last tried to do this quest, because you're doing several things of like, Lara Ravel here comes and chats with you about opening up a like a shelter, and then it turns out that the water that they've got is contaminated, and so you have to get a sample of water from her place, go back home, analyze it, go back to her place, say it's contaminated. Oh, by the way, there's a bunch of other barrels of water that are like spread throughout the city. So you have to then go around and analyze them. And so I think there were 4. I only managed to get 2. And so this would be the 3rd, but I think this is picking up in the middle of all that. Ugh. Ooh, that would be handy. Okay, what if the townsfolk... Place tomorrow, can we, Okay, that's going to be handy. And then... So they don't want to do that. So then... Okay. So let's go trade and see if we can get some kaleidoscope things. Gotta use that. Because it says that there's something unexplored on the map here. What was that? I want that. Bromide. I'm pretty sure I have both of those. There's something's happening here. Okay. Town protectors? Oh, further along. Okay, what's this? Souls labs? Don't eat them. These aren't candy or glass shards. Shards from the cathedral's very first stained glass window. Capella smashed the rock. Huh. Can't have that much beauty all in one place. She did it for us. Everyone can have a piece, just carry a bit of beauty in their pocket. You can see the future that she gave us. See everything where the candy's hidden in town, where cats give birth, and where the worms all stand in a circle and fight till they bleed. Shard after done looking. Grant wishes. And that that last line there, the adults use Twirine, is a reference to at least Pathologic 2, where one of the things you could do is there's a drink, alcoholic drink called Twirine that you can consume, and that will show you like, oh hey, there's like a special thing on the map for you to go investigate. It's I don't know. I didn't use it that much, especially during later playthroughs. But this feels like it's. I think in part because it was like it would usually take you to stuff that was like, well, either I already know what's there, because often it would point out like a cache of goods, and once you start like playing the game enough, it's like, oh yeah, I know where most of those are, so it's not really giving me any additional information. Sometimes it would point you to like a little event that you could like easily miss, but that was not as frequent. Bit young. Oh, it's like Bit Young. I thought they were talking about Dan Cosby for a moment. Cool. Free oh, I guess not free shard. Or maybe there is? Oh, yeah. Free shard. Sweet. Let's go ahead and use it. There's something happening there. Any boxes to loot? Might be over there. Nope. Looking for a white glow. White box-shaped glow. Have to heal. Nope. Okay. So let's go over here. Get. Okay. Looks like they're not following me. Right, Soul in the Halves.
This has all happened before, hasn't it?
Brothers in prison, they told me. I didn't believe them. I said, yes, he's so young, but he's a real Cain that you can't cage him. You let them take you prisoner.
The children no longer remember me.
Before he died, he managed to pass out his wisdom down the con.
A firebox for a heart, they say. But in truth, what you need is a compass.
There's Dr. Kowski. Just check up on him. Sharon Tower need Caspar. He ought to be among them. Family name carries with it certain obligations, such as ruling those you're responsible for. More important than power. Connor understands that better than you do. Path to the Light is only unlocked with a sacrifice. Interesting. Other way to save the boy. Ob exterioribus ad interior. Something about exterior versus interior. From the exterior to the interior? Because ad is 2, I think.
Hide and seek, tag, hopscotch.
Chester.
We might as well play Ring Around the Rosies.
Can't let him out, not the one to cage him, so I can't be the one to free him. Ab altero expectes alteri quod ficeris. That one I can't make sense of. Curious. But it says that's everything. Any boxes, boxes, boxes. Please, boxes. If I'm gonna go into a looter district, I would really like to at least have some stuff to show for it. Nope. Especially if... Uh... So I guess let's go. That's going to take 24 minutes. That'll be 11. Let's go and go here. Oh, there is a trade opportunity here. It's a little weird, but okay. Okay. Boxes in here. Don't have a lot to work with, so I might need to just go trade. So I don't just up and die. Trade with you. Good. Anything worthwhile? Strychnine, bromide, I already got those. Ugh. Splits. Wait, what? Split. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am safe for now. Let's go back, see if we can find some resources. Oh, can't go that way. Okay. I suppose one thing I could do is... Aha! Yes! Alright. And another one. Come on. Dang it. At least I've got one health tonic. Look around, look around. Don't see anything over there. I'm not really losing health. I don't have... Do I have anything else to do? I do need to... So the only other thing I need to do this day is somewhere here in this infected district is a like weird flower, and that weird flower I can... Wait, is this infected? No, it's not, huh? I guess it's just always foggy. But anyway, if I investigate that weird flower, I can create a special, like, I'm not even sure how to really describe it. because I have this device which is used to ward off the plague, and there is a monster that is chasing after me. I think there's stuff in here. Can't go in there though. And so that monster, nothing in there. Stuff in there though. Can be kind of like temporarily defeated by using that special shot. But I have to be in the plague district and kind of ward off the monster while I search for it. So I tried last time I was here on day 4 and couldn't find it. It is tough to find, which is actually kind of annoying. Because there is a lot of space to like look through. Oh, there's another box. But I think that's the only thing left to do for today. I think if you... Let's put that... Oops. That there. That there. That way I can get these. I think one of your kind of overarching goals is to try and remove the infection creature each day, because apparently it like radically lowers infection if you do so. I need you, and we'll get that. Let's grab that and that. Seven. Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. Dang it. I wish there was a confirmation on that too. Are you sure you want to discard? I do have a lot of trading material, so it's probably fine.
You're too high strung.
So let's go ahead. Let's just go around and do more trading. We'll stock up for the next time we try and do this, because I'm really gonna need at least like a few healing tonics. If I want to try and brave the infected district. All right then, just walking through a building. Nothing to remark upon. That.
Boiling, cracking, screeching, living.
Nothing there. No box in here. Okay. Just trying to like keep an eye out for every possible place where there might be a box. Because it seems like they do actually refresh, and it's just like a specific set that don't. So it is going to actually behoove me to like be thorough. But it seems like there's nothing else here in the theater district.
Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
Nothing in the playground. That's red, I believe. So that's going to be like a mania interaction. Oh, there's a box. Come on. No health potion. Okay. So you got 2 left. I should go ahead and do one now. Oh, there's a box. I could try going to the still water, and we do have time. Hey, there's 2 more. Move. And see if I can make some. 'Cause I've got 2 things of water. I'm trying to think about what you need to make it. I haven't made one yet. There should theoretically be 3 boxes in the square. So okay, there's a kid to trade with over there. And you do have a health potion. And you have strychnine and bromide. And that's it. So see a bug. 3 more. Cost 2, cost 4. 2, 6, 1, 5. Heavy dose of morphine. And then 2 whatever. Go ahead and eat that, and then move you to that. Boxes, boxes, boxes. No boxes. There's the exit. This feels very much like the second game. It's going to be really helpful to memorize where the boxes spawn, because they're generally in the same spot, I think. And it may just be that on different days, different ones are active. Because, like, let's go. There was one behind the cathedral. there was one over here to the left. Okay, Cathedral 1 is there. I need to, whoops, move you and take that, and then, whoops, move this. And there's the third one. And again, I should put that in there so we get ourselves an extra space. Move that. Move that. Alright, 6 health potions. That will end the day with, and we should get... So I'm thinking now, and it's probably going to be worthwhile to put a pin in this for the next time we try day 4, but I think this means that actually resources are like infinite.
I'd rather not hear this.
And we don't have to be worried. Strychnine, morphine. Just trade that. Then we go to the Stillwater. We've got an hour and a half, so we can make a thing? I think it takes an hour to brew medicine.
No. This town
Oh.
can't give birth to a murderer.
That's weird. Huh. So if can I change my decree? Water filtration. Less contagion. Interesting. So it's more powerful anti-contagion than just putting up scarecrows. But does increase unrest. Medicine. Recipes. Calomel needs... Oh, I've got those. Hold on. I guess it doesn't read from my held. Okay, so it does not take time to craft those. That is interesting to know. Move. Let's get... I don't need... On the one hand, I don't need that much, but also I can really stand to get rid of some of these. What actually, now I'm curious, what happens if I put them into here. Oh, I'm also like way off on the time. I've got way more time than I thought I did. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't have enough time to go to this infected district and investigate it and then go back and then make the thing. But I'm going to bet that the flower is always in the same place. Oh, I need to actually go there. So, as long as I'm careful and don't die, I can search for the flower.
You invented this yourself. You invented this yourself.
It feels like it's... Oh. Well, okay, so she's still chasing after me. So hoping... I'm hearing this like... So, I'm supposed to use sound to help me track where the flower is. Problem is, there's a lot of noise. And I don't know... I don't know quite which sound I'm like listening for. And how to pinpoint it. It's like... I know I had several ideas when I tried... Because I have searched this district before. And... I had like several ideas, but none of them panned out into anything. Okay. Because I'm going to come back here again. So let's not try again. Guess I can search through here real quick for more items. Like there. That's interesting. There being only the one item there in the third slot gives me just a bit of pause, because usually they're arranged, you know, first slot, second slot, etc. That would potentially imply that it was something left over that I didn't pick up, but this is the first time on this version, I think, of coming here that we went through that item, that box. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a weird thing that happened. Obviously, we're seeing bugs in other places, but it does not make me feel good to see that. Alright, but we got a lot of items. I need to go here to just kill time, and then go this way. That gets us 44 minutes. And let's actually just go, we'll go right back. And then right back again. And then we won't have to wait. We won't have to wait nearly as long. And I think the interesting aspect is, yeah, we're not gaining apathy as we travel. And presumably that also means we're not doing things like losing health. I think that would make sense. Otherwise, if you lost health at a rate of like X number of minutes or X number of hit points per minute. There we go. I thought there must be something. Then you would run to a significant issue of dying as you tried to travel to places. Is this something we've already...
The audience is wondering, Venerable Simon, will you step on stage this time?
Yes, we have already seen this.
Simon remains silent, and the audience frets as well.
So it's Ava. Oh. Interesting. Huh. I am curious if that's because my amalgam's already full. So it might have been the case that because like if I chat with Ava, I wouldn't have gotten anything anyway. All right, we can do day 5 now. We'd have the patients we want to retry to diagnose. I've got the notes on that, but we also, since Ruben is now alive, we should theoretically be able to go talk to him. Oops. Should be anything in there. Oops. Loot. Grab this. Interestingly, you can't grab everything. Punctuality. Certain inconvenience. Still hasn't grown crowded. Gather the strange possible people in the emergency command. Subconscious assistants all circling for your notice. Not doctor. Sandpest spreads easily. Reduction density. Interesting. Very minor. Okay. Not terribly effective. I mean, that feels kind of obvious. It's like, yeah, it's... If it were just that easy, then this would kind of trivialize a lot of stuff. So... Hypots, yep. All right. Okay. Don't think I need... I can check here. I don't think there's going to be anything in... Oh, there's nothing in the bookcase anyway, so... Nothing in the box. So let's...
I could use some quiet.
Okay, so... let's go ahead and... go to the Marrow. And we will go to the theater, the hospital, and... Yellow. That is not where I need to go. This is where I need to go, I believe. Yep. That's examination. All right.
Whichever finger bleeds, the whole hand aches.
Wait a minute. Do I only get one shot at this? That's actually... Huh.
Yes?
That's actually an issue. I guess that's actually intentional to make sure. So if I don't try anything, will the patient still die? Oh, you know what? I just realized. I know what it is. I need to go back. Main menu. Play this. Is this... Oh, this may have already started. Dang it. I know what it was, though. I know what it was. Oh, never mind. It undoes those saves. Okay, so we'll still have to go back. We'll do our... late. Let's do these conversations. Talk to Hypot. Okay, so let's take a look at our mind map real quick. So I know what I need to do is that these two were wrong, and I needed to, before starting the day. Actually, I'm curious if I can. What happens if I try and like go to the clock and restart the day? Didn't seem to cost anything. Oh. Also has a different glow. Down to Kovsky, Bachelor. You have 2 minutes to talk. Do you know this woman? Up disappeared. Brought you in for a chat. Do you even understand how long this chat's been going on for? Talk a place about a couple of offices. Experience here, you're done. Samples collected. You weren't yourself when you came back from the Gorkon. It's like you became a different person. Need you to walk out of here as the man you were before you left for that trip. Sure your father is alive and well. Interesting. They don't really care what happened. They don't care what really happened on the Gorkon. You have to be yourself when you walk out of here. Interesting. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, I ended up going to day 6, not to day 5. That was not what I wanted to do. I guess we'll go ahead and play through day 6, though.
There is no death.
Where you can see me calling some signs. Supposedly they read the signs of fate and align them constellations. And this is probably talking about the mind map. Decrees. So let's do day 6. Do that. Not that it's going to do much. I mean, I can't even... okay. I feel like it's pretty much necessary to go back and fight the, plague. There's Katarina. Call the women who were supposedly possessed magical powers. Legends and miracles performed by other mischiefs, but perhaps people said Katarina lacked the gift.
The eyeless one walks by my window at night.
My mythological children live near Polyhedron. Oh, don't live near the Polyhedron. Basically, the ones who aren't part of the kid gangs. No one has seen them since yesterday. Now let's turn to nasty rumors going around town about Clara. She has something to do with her disappearance. Anna Angel? No. No. Horrible creature. People say many things about her. Yes, I remember this rumor in 2. At least I'm pretty sure I do. And I do note there's a thing about in Pathologic 2 where she goes into houses, plague houses, to try and find kids to basically turn in for like a reward. I think the idea is like if you I think the idea was something like if you rescue a baby from the plague, you're absolved of your sins or something like that. And so she's trying to absolve her past sins, which I don't know. I never did do much talking to Anna Angel, so I don't know if that's ever actually like expanded upon. She wouldn't tell me anything. With I respect you, so go talk to Anna Angel.
Thoughts galloping.
Schmouder broke down. Doesn't work anymore. So we're just learning about Schmouders. Well, we've heard the name Schmouder before. Blood in your mouth. Stasi got better. This during the first outbreak. They died a long time ago. Crowfoot, you crush and mix all the pills and you get Schmouder. Cures anything you in the sand pass, but doesn't work no more. Ah. Matthew, I shouldn't have told you. Maybe Sarah to come to you. Matthew's my big brother. Throw stones real good. Master Brock, help us catch flies. Where are they? Alla behind the theater. You're a swindler and drain people's blood but doesn't help anyone. Interesting. I just got an achievement of destroy the cure for the plague without ever learning its properties. Which... Oh. Huh.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
I wonder if I can... What's this? Hands off. There's no drinking, no breathing. No, anyway. So we go here. Don't have to deal with anything. Wait, what? It says it's calm. Oh, because I'm here. Now I've got through it. Now we're okay. So we got this box. People outside.
Wherever a wise man drowns, a fool walks dry.
We won't enter your house. They're not going to go into the hospital. The stepfolk aren't affected by the sand plague. Born from the earth and lit by the earth. Protects us. Questioning the analysis that shepherds and brides never get infected, and we know this from at least the last game to be true, and it is presumably related to their connection to the earth, so it is any kind of actual testing presumably wouldn't work. Old shepherds have had bulls by our side for a long time. They passes them from the bowls as Bodo's blessing. Well, if it's not a superstition, no one's ever seen a plague-infected bowl. Local plague doesn't affect the bovine, right? So we're going to try and get a bull to experiment on. We'll just focus on that because I don't think we're ever going to get them to agree to giving us blood work. So he got off his rocker, moves furniture at night, clogged the walls. Ill with the plague, then recovered and started moving furniture like crazy and clawing at the walls. Fell ill 3 days ago. I'll go to the dark wood, he says, and the wood will cure me. So he goes and comes back in the morning, healthy and jolly as a moose, but something's going on with him at night. Went up by, they came back. It's not him anymore, though. Beasts in the shadows, makes those weird sounds. Okay, so I think the idea then is we take this kind of...
Oginski is a decent man. I mean, the younger, of course.
We take these days kind of one step at a time. So I think we prioritize the illnesses, because that lets us make a vaccine. And a vaccine's presumably going to be pretty effective. Then we do other stuff that we can. And then when we replay, we hopefully have collected sufficient notes that, like, if we messed up on the diagnoses, we can fix them. And then, you know, maybe do and sort of do that cycle until we can do everything. 4 patients, oh boy. Hardman, look heller. We could have get a whole confiscated barrel of infected water and drink from it. Coming out of infected districts. Grouse is odd. Pockets full of clay. Okay. So there's grouse. Stomatin. The broken heart. Okay. She's kind of lethargic. Everything. Feeling nauseous? No. 2 or 3 or 2. When did the reflux begin? Don't know. Her stomach burns. She eats clay. Grouse. Geophagia. Abdominal pain. That's already seeming to... nothing seems to be there. Back. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. So abdominal pain. Rash. just crave it. Okay. Because holding your stomach... caused by bites from the golden herb fly. If a green rash appears around the bite area. We haven't seen a green rash. Vomiting and nausea. Digestion. Some patients really just normally exhaustion, breathing difficulties. Huh. I'm going... So here's what we're going to do. Day 6. We're going to make our notes better this time. So we've got grouse. It's an O, not an A. Grouse. Step, gastrodermal, currently unknown because we haven't gotten confirmation one way or another. Contempt, add a colleague note. No complaints. What kind of sickness can touch a man who has access to knowledge that can cure any disease? Looking at me different. I see the thirst for knowledge in your eyes. Living proof my formula works. Breathing for when the lungs grow in size and really learning to breathe with them takes time. So trouble breathing. And hallucinations. Oops. Amplifying sensual things. Close your mouth. Small price for staying healthy forever. Still don't understand. Still wants like balls of bread. So long as cleansing themselves and growing. Water might be not really a life-giving repository. Water is like a notebook you keep on your desk. You can write words in there, cross them out, write something else. Spells really contains a string of words that can be corrected. Whoops. My science transcends the empirical and the exact. Write the formula on a sheet of paper and wait for it to dissolve completely. You'll get water that's not only disease-free, but also acts as a cure. So nothing on the legs. Arms. Oh. Darkened veins. Is that? Skin rash. Eczema. No. Circulatory system. Vein damage? That. Okay, so let's go with ink syndrome. Hardman. Ink syndrome. The wise woman. Ask for a wise woman? Can't help me. Without the wise woman, I'm done for. Never should try to work that mark. He got the better of me. He cursed me. It's Oofbird in town. Name of Pockface. Huckster owns a few shops. Got so much money he could use as kindling. Straight from the evil one, it's not his. Pockface consorts the evil one, sold his soul in exchange for wealth, and now he's living it up. Where does that kind of money come from? The guy is all ginned up in silk, house fitted in oak and ash. He's a dodger. Okay. Folks tell the truth about that guy. Evil one doesn't help people out of the goodness of heart, so Pockface is rotting alive. Have you met with Pockface recently? Three fingers from hindquarters. He tipped me off about Pockface's place. Said he was an easy mark. Anyone could walk right in. No tools needed. Case joint after dark. Woke up. Pockface laid this curse on me. Said I'd rot in my own skin just like him. Fever, shakes, okay. Fever. Where's fever again? Respiratory, circulatory. Ford's breath stove, this headache grabbed me. And headaches. Looking right in my face after he hexed me. Droplet spread. Okay. Gotta keep that in mind. Oh, hold on. Bruises. Could be a symptom. Unhealthy pallor. Huh. Skin. Where is it? Breathing. Lost coordination. Severe pallor. And then anything of like thinning. Bulimia? I don't think it's bulimia. Dystrophy? That's what we're looking for. Okay. Watch your mouth. Why is your skin that color? So, paleness is... Wait. Curses stick charm to pale people? Okay, but that's interesting. Does that mean he was pale before? Sun's always flipped me the bird. So I think he was pale before, so I don't think pallor's a symptom is what he's trying to say. Interesting. So we don't know if his we don't know if this is related to the disease or not. If it is, we've got it narrowed down. If it's not, we're back to having a lot of different stuff. He does have... I think red eyes, right? Yeah. And that still gives us anemic vasculopathy. Well, it does give us measles as well, but it doesn't seem to... So, like... Does he have... So, if I were to put down hydrophobia, would that trigger? No. Step soil entering the bloodstream. So theoretically that red eyes, fever, inflammation, conjunctivitis, skin rash. So it's... Huh. So two ways this could... Well, a few ways this could go. Because we don't know whether... So he's complaining about the fever and the headache. We presume that those are symptoms. But then that only gets us... whoops. Oh, here we go. That gets us quite a few things. So if the... No, not bulimia, dystrophy. If it's the dystrophy, if his weight, like the fact that he's so thin, is a symptom, we get anemic vasculopathy. if the red eyes, if the skin is a symptom, we still get that vasculopathy, but we also get bronchopathy. And then if we add the red eyes, where was it? Vision, red eyes. We still have vasculopathy and measles. So the thing is that anemic vasculopathy is the only one that like fits everything. So on the one hand, it's like, okay, well that's it. There you go. Like you got all the symptoms. Here, this is the only one that ticks all the boxes. But it feels like that's also a trap. I think we're going to lock it in with the sense of like, we're probably going to be doing this again anyway. Anemic vasculopathy. Talk to you. Semiphon Zarin. Horns glow at night? So, talks to the kin. Portable gramophone. I have goods left there. No goods means no life. Drag me here can say, well, feeling been hard walking far lately. So weakness. Which one is it? Circulatory? Yeah, weakness. And chest pains. Brisk walks in a step. Clawing way back. Alright. Chest pains. Way back from the step. Pricking from the inside. Heartburn? Oh, chest pain. We just have chest pain. What do those trips usually look like? Wait, what? Okay, so pallor seems odd. Arms reverse. Yep, same thing. Nothing on the legs. Just how I was born. Pale or red? So we say then that pallor's not a symptom. How is your eyesight? visual impairment. Kirby brushes on the way to check in. Ripe and heavy. Okay. Unwashed fruits and berries. So those splotches on our arm could be the rash. Chest pains, hallucinations, from damage. Affect tissues, manifest blackened veins. Possible on the body. Whereas this. So I think we go with bradycardia. So we got Gannett. Bradycardia. And we will find out later if these are correct or not. What? Grab those. Just get all the stuff from the hospital we can. Anyone else to talk to? No. Alright, so what else can we do with the remainder of our day? So let's go over here and check this out. Rip the bull spot. What? Say it killed a bull. Got a beast roaming the streets. Female wolf. 20 feet tall. What? Someone thinks it's a bear. Can't say anyone's seen it. Don't go to the cemetery. The train cemetery. Out in the sticks along the rails past the station. Interesting. Anyway, they are an underground laboratory. I mean, I believe they said alley behind the hospital. Kind of like to settle this thing. I presume. Move that. I presume that... Huh. If I followed through on this... I'll be able to kind of get to the end, and there'll be a there'll be something like presumably I can undo, and because what we know from the other games is that schmouters actually do work. They're not like great cures for the plague because they severely weaken you. What was that noise? But they do work. They will cure you. Aha. Crowfoot's alive just to mangy Shunak. You know what he told me? He told me he had no faith in our schmatters anymore. This was all nonsense and childish games. That's actually kind of funny. That actually kind of fits with the kind of mystical nature of kind of the plague and everything else. I am currently playing Warhammer, as in like the board game, and technically the Kill Team, the smaller version. And I'm actually painting a team right now of orcs, and the fun thing about orcs in kind of the lore of the world is that they have this, like, I believe it's referred to as like a psychic field. And the way that manifests is basically like, if they collectively believe something to be true, it becomes true. And so the most common example, at least one that I've seen and reading about, is like usually about color. So like, if enough orcs believe that if a rocket is painted yellow, it will create a bigger explosion, and because enough orcs believe it, it becomes true, and yellow rockets cause bigger explosions. And so this idea of like belief in something is what makes it true. I mean, it's in a sense, you know, that you could refer to as like a placebo effect. But of course, the way this is working is it's a placebo effect in which the creator or like a collective believe it works, and therefore it works. Shunak. Oh, they're talking about Shabnak. He went to the shelter. Okay, so he's at the... I presume he. I could be wrong. Anyway, where's my exit? This way? Yep. So we have to go through this plague district.
The column of steppe legends. Myth. Fiction.
Whoop. Shows up right in front of me. Take that. Take that. Town hall doctor running out of food. Crust with just kids when the first outbreak hit. Schmatters were the first game we invented. We made it all up. We were young, naive. Plate being miracle workers, homemade medicines did help some people. A child's faith can sometimes be so strong it bends the world. Saved at least 2 lives, mine and catch flies. The help not shadows were our miracle, but now I'm searching for a new one. Interesting. Huh. So theoretically that could have gone very differently. But I don't know what kind of differently. Ow. Gotta go through one of these districts now. One problem into another, basically. Oh. That's the reason why it... Let's see, that way it's like, oh no, I can just... Never mind, I can just, yeah, go over it. All right. Interesting. Huh. Move that. Let's talk to Big Vlad.
What have I done to be punished with children like these?
Paralyzed hunger is looming over town. Presumably for the best. We'll see what happens. So that's 2 things solved.
But you, Dankovsky, how could you?
Let's go to the Broken Heart. And also, what's going on here? Supposed to recover from the sand pest. Oh, right. Let's go ahead and do that so we can move a little bit faster. There's not. Never mind. Alright. I was wondering if there might be a box. So we will talk to Anna.
As if things are animated.
There's buzzing in my ears.
The Inquisitor. I'm not afraid of her, so that's one thing. And 2, I'm not afraid of her at all. Not coming as an Inquisitor as a sister? So Aglaya, because they're trying to solve unsolvable problems. Powers that be send them wherever a situation calls for a nonlinear solution, but seldom solved without bloodshed. Different Inquisitor, I would have said they were coming to solve the plague, trying to find a salvation. So why is... She is going to destroy Simon and Nina's work. Is Nina's sister? Huh. Maria believed Aglaya is driven by envy by her all-nothing approach. Nina was life itself in all its vicious glory. She had so much life inside her that there was none left for Aglaya. She'll arrive tomorrow. There's Anna Angel. Nasty rumors circling about this highly unpleasant woman. Someone stole children. That's all rumors.
I used to sing every day at dusk.
Oh, whoops. I assume what she's trying to get at is like, you know, don't come close because she's like a germaphobe. Stint with a traveling circus. Gymnasts in the Barker. Some children performed with us. Some started off in the audience. Some never went home afterwards. Hangs up his axe one day, and years later a tree falls in the forest. Surely you wouldn't say that it fell because the lumberjack was swinging his axe around in his past life. Yelling at them. All their noise was giving me a hellish headache. Told them to go to hell. Feel free to look for them there. Creaking, swinging, children laughing again. Oh. Cool. Something to steal. Let's go ahead and move this.
It was quiet in Connecticut.
It's gonna be faster to go this way. What the? House under quarantine. Infected inside. I think that's immediately related to one of the decrees I chose. Is there... Nope, no boxes. Yep, there's Murky.
Dad used to bring us food home from the factory.
We're at the hideout. Sticky's kicked me out of there. I know everyone knows about. Volkadoi fears neither fire nor death. It fears only fears one thing, and that's fairy stories. was still hazelnuts. Started telling a story and never finished it. That wasn't fair. Lilith and Quirky. Shamanine Bavai came to town. This is interesting. Silver green, his dark, you see tattoo black snakes crawling around his neck. Huh. Town only had one doctor. Vanio Vankovsky. So what's the deal? Terrible sight. So I'm going to lure him out of the hideout and snatch him. Walking to step trying to provide his giant bear paws. Cover her whole body and that hurt a lot, so to make tattoos grow faster, the great doctor gave her a bottle of ink. Map of the step appeared on her stomach and Lilith set off on a journey to find Quirky. Walk the step 4. The 2 footprints began to appear on her skin. At her body, they were the footprints of children? Children's footprints came off her body and walked through the step on their own. Followed them, but Vi's lair. She went inside, and as soon as her eyes got used to the gloom, she saw Quirky. Sean made Quirky a servant. Boy was on the ground trying to make a clock out of a pair of cogwheels. Sean was feeding on his misery. Only Lilith could defeat Sean because stories what the Bokoldoi feared the most. So she began to tell him a story about a girl named Murky who played hide and seek with her friends at the hideout. This is insanely clever for Dankovsky. I mean, I know where it is. Let's see. Boxes. Nothing. Oh, well. Nope. Can't go that way. Here we go. Should be somewhere behind the factory.
If only I could get a good sleep.
Roughest touch, safe to touch. Smoothest bone, leave it alone.
Yeah, so Burak has to watch over these various kids. So presumably, and also, who are they? Just like various kids? Yeah, it's because there's the actual bound from Pathologic 2. So you got 4 hours. There's supposedly a monster here. So I think we'll try and look into that. And then go back to... Oh. Huh.
Never alone. Things everywhere. Tired of this noise.
Can't get up there. There's gotta be a way through.
Could use some quiet.
But how? Here we go. Okay, can I... No, what I want to do. That.
More blunt. Not so sharp.
This way?
Boiling, cracking, screeching. Living.
Ooh, ooh.
It was quiet until night ago. The town dribbles.
Huh.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
No. There's something here. But how do I... 'Cause it sounds like it's coming from this direction. I don't think... No.
Things are animated.
Not that way. I mean, I'm just going backwards now.
I'd rather not hear this.
Huh. I mean, the thing is... If I'm not...
You're too high strung.
There's gotta be something here.
Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
Is this... Yeah, it's got through that way. And there was this cave over here. So as I get closer, it increases my mania. Because the thing is, it's not really worth just walking back. Either I...
Tired of this noise.
Oh. That's where... Stolen my face. The dog mask was my face. Without it, I can't... Oh... She was a dog head. Who's stolen your faces? The soul and the halves. Okay. Gonna main menu this. We're gonna continue. So we're not wasting so many health tonics. Let's use that. Let's use that.
Slower. Colder.
I think this is gonna work. Get stuck. Right. This. Oh. Can't go... Can't just walk past that. Okay. Backwards I go. There.
Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
This way. Box. And then another box. Then... Anyway. Was there another box here? No. Go through here. Another box. And then there was another box up ahead.
The town dribbles.
Gotta go through this way. It's the last box up here. Let's go ahead and consume that. Get ourselves a little bit more. That's fine. And then... Yeah, I just completely missed that girl. Like a wolf. Vanished. Soul in the halves, so that also saves me a little bit of time. Oop. This way, right. Cool. Okay. Love when my speed causes me to fall off the ledges.
As if things are animated.
Okay, so it's 9:30. I should be able to get to the Soul in the Halves and then back. And then to Stillwater. It's a mirror. What's this? Oh, okay. So I can find the cache. I suppose one thing I could do... One, I can try just talking to Notkin and see if it'll let me know where...
Maybe Khan and I should bury the hatchet?
I'm fraying at the seams.
Don't care for no discipline garbage. They're free people. Okay. What? Oh, I failed that. Hey, Akinar, how's it going? So I failed that quest. All right, got it. Guess we do it next go around. We go to the Stillwater. Gonna have to go through this plague district. We try to keep things manic around here. Get the heck away from that. Okay, cut through the park. Get this ready. I feel like the Shopknock's gonna show up soon enough. Straight, then right. Cut past you. Gonna need to... Okay, keep going straight. Past you. No Shopknock. You know, I was wondering something, which was that if there's multiple districts that you have to search for the flower, how do you know which one it is? I think I just realized something, which is that the Shopknock only... Bolus, what? The Shopknock only shows up in one district, so you know which district to search because the Shopknock shows up there. Okay.
Neither snow, nor pain, nor heat, nor gloom of night. I'll breathe out coming in, but now it breathe in like a... Now breathe in like a bellows. I mean, because what, Albinorix are kind of like weird. Actually, I'm trying to remember if they were creations, but because there is, I guess, if they are, it's a kind of like something similar. So these are what are called odong, or worms. So they're like special creatures of this town that are like supposedly made from earth. And but to my knowledge, there's not a whole lot known about them, because you're never allowed. There's like all sorts of references about like trying to dissect one, but you're never. I don't think you're ever given a chance to do so. So let's bring the bowl, and we did. Okay. Mix the medicine. That's not what I want. It's also not what I want. So, so Crowfoot will come back. I do find it interesting because we had Catchfly and Crowfoot who work together, and I can't tell if they're actual siblings or not, but this idea of like Catchfly here refuses to like insists on making the schmouters, and she's given specifically like the model of one of the kids, which is why it was actually really strange when she had talked about, like, 5 years ago I helped Isidore Barak with the last plague, and it's like that how is that possible? You would have been like 6. I'm wondering if whereas then we saw, like, Crowfoot, I don't know if it's actually a brother or just a friend, but and he looks to be in his like 20s, and like he has an actual adult, like a standard adult model, like and he's talking about, like, I grew up, like literally talking about, like, I've changed, I've grown up, I no longer believe in this stuff, and so I'm wondering if it's like they chose intentionally those models. As weird as it is, again, this is a model of a young girl to represent somebody who supposedly would be in their 20s. And the idea of, like, she, kind of Peter Pan syndrome of, like, she literally stayed a kid because she refused to, like, not believe in the power, and basically is clinging to the past. So she is not growing up both spiritually and literally. And I'm thinking in particular because it's like, he promised we'd be kids forever. He promised not to let me go. He can grow old as much as he wants. So that's interesting. Okay. So we had an error. Burdock is the only one that's wrong. It was the one I was least sure about. So grouse, we're correct. I guess we don't need to actually... Well, no, it is probably useful because the game does not let me know. I can switch all of these when I redo the game, but the game won't let me know which ones were right and which ones are wrong when I have the opportunity to switch them. So I should still keep these notes. Interesting. If his body was exhausted... Hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something. Let's infect the bowl.
Every object has a heartbeat. Can't you hear?
Dream to becoming an herb bride and dancing for all of us before the languishing eyes of bowls. The snare materialized, but the bowl will watch me with languor here. With the past times that it's like fogged up glass. I see shapes but not details. Behind that glass, Farhad built the still water. Behind that glass, nobody lived there long. I especially feel bad for that lady engineer. Behind that glass, Simon said the still water would accept me. Don't be concerned. No one's fallen ill in the still water. It's not your body that this house challenges. Plenty of space. So you have... I can make reagents. I've got that. I've got so much stuff I can trade. Can't... Oops. Can't do all these, though. So let's split, do that, trade, don't want bromide, reagent, taurine. I mean, reagent's going to be the most valuable. Oops. Okay, what is to make a reagent? Okay. So now I have good reason to get these two ingredients from you. What's this? Morphine, okay. What's morphine trade for? Interesting. Take what? Let's go ahead and load this up for the day. Or next time, I should say. But take what? I can't take... Maybe it just means like the patient reports. Let's go ahead real quick. We got just a little bit of time left in this day. Before... Oof. Let's get some more resources. No, that's text. It's the one problem with the text being transposed onto walls and stuff like that, is that sometimes I look at it and think, oh, that's what am I thinking of? the white highlight of like a box or something that I can loot. Okay, it should be one behind. Yeah, loot corpse, except it's text and it's not loot. It's like this is why I'm like looking for. It's like these boxes. But sometimes, okay, but sometimes there's like text transposed on like a building of like thoughts that you've been having, which is like, you know, mission stuff, and not to mention like these little lines to guide you to like objectives and stuff, and it can be a little tough to distinguish like what's what, especially if it's in like blocked by trees and buildings and stuff like that. Not to mention actually the fact that so much stuff glows white. It's like that right there is a door. I'm pretty sure that's a door. There's people. That's a statue. There's another door. This is somebody I can trade with. It's like there's a lot of stuff that glows white that's like not actually like valuable. What? That gives me 5. Actually, in all honesty, I don't think I want that. I think I want to discard these, because that gives me then... That's not what I wanted. Why is it doing that? Anyway, no, I don't think it matters. But I only can save, apparently, this many... 12 slots of items, despite the fact that I have 15 available, which is another bit of annoyance. Don't know why that's the case, but I do want to be able to save as many of these potions, because I'm gonna be having to come back at some point to try and tackle the Shabnok. And we are almost just waiting for time to kind of move forward, because in 20 in-game, 19 in-game minutes, the day will end. Oh, there is something here. We'll take the walnuts and leave the matches. I am also wondering what the logic is for what stays and what doesn't if you're above 15 items. Almost. Interesting. How far away? Huh. What happened when we get... So, I'll kind of show you the core of how this game works in a moment. We got a little vignette that's going to play.
Signs of a life over.
He'd achieved everything he could. Every mistake of his irredeemable. Every ship sailed. Every opportunity missed. Nothing else to be done on this sinful earth, and he was afraid to admit it. Death forgot to take him, so he chased it. Doomed.
Bachelor Danil Donkovsky, a distinguished pioneer and scientist, a member of the State Medical Academy. Please move your fingers. You're covering the page. I can't read.
It's just an encyclopedic article. 2 lines tops regarding our case. Even the town itself is left unnamed, see? It just says a catastrophic epidemic that's destroyed several towns in the eastern part of the country.
Huh. I feels really weird. So the voice of the guy there, that's not his voice. Like they whenever they added these in, they had to get some other voice actor to fill in for that guy, and he does not sound right. Let's. Oh yeah, it was immediately noticeable.
The day is over.
When I first heard it, like.
A new pantomime is rehearsed here.
Oh yeah, that is a VFig was here a few streams back and mentioned that like one of Ava's lines when I like chatted with her, because all the characters have this like, or major characters have this like, when you talk to them they have a line that they speak and it's usually kind of cryptic. It's unrelated to their actual dialogue, and so that line she just said is, I think it is from Pathologic 2. Like when a day ends, there's like this voiceover, and so VFig had heard one of them, and that I think was another one. As life returned to its usual course, still running around endless errands. Maria told me that today would not come, but it has. Yep, I had the same conversation. Lives by all or nothing. She doesn't see the possibilities that reveal themselves in the twilight. Like I said, it came to be. Someone from the Anerotex once told me that the person can either do well or explain well. Something breaks inside the person when they stop wanting to hear fairy tales or tell them. That's because you never know what tomorrow will bring. What if a storm really does come after the calm? So we're refilled on amalgam. So, talking about day 7. So, theoretically, at the end of day 7, it's game over if I don't do anything else. So I have to kind of like go back and fix things. So the core conceit of this game, Akanar, is that I can gather up a resource called amalgam, represented by the little slivers, and I can spend that to travel between the different days, and replay those days. I can do that as much as I want as long as I have the resource to spend to go back and forth. And the I can then perform various tasks, including, there are certain events where it's like, oh, you learn about something, not too unlike something like maybe like an Outer Wilds, in the sense of like, oh, this event happened, but by knowing that it's going to happen, I can like go back and change a part of it so that it kind of, in Outer Wilds case, it's usually like, so I can like get there before it happens and like get information. But that kind of idea of I can change how things will progress based on the actions I take and the choices I make, the paths I choose to pursue. So I'm going to be going back and forth. So one of the things I'm trying to do is go back. It's super. It's also like very different. I don't remember if because I know you've been here before, and you might have been here before when I replayed Pathologic 2. I played a couple times on stream. And Pathologic 2 was like a much more standard like survival game. A lot of like, okay, you've got like hunger and sleep and thirst, and you're trying to manage those as you go around this town doing things. And the tension comes from the fact of like, managing those meters requires time and attention and resources. And so those all take a toll in one way, whereas another thing you're trying to manage is time, because you're trying to do stuff around the town. And so you're kind of making a trade-off about like, okay, well, do I like worry about finding food, or do I get some sleep, or do I go and like complete this like major task? And so that played that way, and this plays much more like, it still has that sense of like, okay, there's a lot of things demanding your time, and you gotta figure out what to do, and you can't do all of them. But whereas in Pathologic 2 was a lot more like just sort of like going with the flow and just doing things as best you could, and just like, I'm trying to manage. This is much more of a like, all right, we're going to give you all the tools to do everything, but you got to like really start planning stuff out and like redoing days over and over again until you get things right. So it feels very different because it's giving you the opportunity to replay stuff in this way. So one of the things, for instance, I need to do is I can go through districts that are infected with plague, and I think what's happening is that in one of those districts there is this creature, a manifestation of the plague that will like, it's a monster that chases you around. And so in that same district is a flower that if you like interact with it, will give you like a sample, like a little, something that you can then take to analyze to turn into like a special, like basically like a silver bullet against the monster, and we'll get rid of it for the day. And that apparently like really reduces the infection level. So I think what the game wants me to do is do that like at least one or two more times. So I need to go back through at least one of these prior days and like try to tackle that, along with other stuff. So there's a lot of like weird overlapping mechanics that I'm trying to juggle at the same time. Yeah, I'm really liking it. It's Pathologic. So Pathologic 1, I've never played. And Pathologic 1 was basically you're a doctor in a town that's hit by a plague, and you're kind of just trying to, like, you know, get through, like, survive and complete these tasks and so on and so forth. And there were 3 characters that you could choose from, and each one had like a different story throughout the game. So Pathologics 2 and 3 are basically remakes of Pathologic 1, with then the focus on one of those 3 characters. Which means they can be played kind of standalone, to a large degree. I was kind of actually thinking about this, especially in light of your Expedition 33 video, looking over the cutscenes, because, like, depending on how, it might be like a neat thing for you to, like, take a shot at. I don't know exactly how you'd feel, because also, like, it's you know, it might be a very different set of, like, gameplay mechanics. It's a very tough game, but it's not toughness quite in the same way like a Dark Souls is. Take a shot at Pathologic 2, but I mean, I know, of course, you have like a lot on the list anyway. But then again, what's one more suggestion? But because you're somebody who does like kind of analyzing, you know, taking a look at, like, what's this line? What's it mean? Like, what's going on? Like, there's a very much a lot of that in the story and world, because there's a lot of mysticism to it. It is admittedly a lot more, like, I think a way to think about it is it's a lot more thematic than logical. So that might be, I think that is sort of where I've been, like, that might be a different approach that you take to like reading texts than what the game is doing. But I mean, I love the story. I did like a pretty big like essay on, like, the, you know, breaking down the themes of Pathologic 2, in like its sort of, you know, the like time and stuff like that, and the way basically like the Pathologic games and as a whole are in a way about like the interaction of you as a player with a video game, on multiple layers. There's a lot of, for instance, like a lot of stuff about actors and playing roles and stuff like that, because of course you are a player playing a role as the character, but also because it's a created story, there's also kind of a role that the character you're playing as takes on within the story. So that sort of barrier of interaction, it's like it's really exploring that, and that's always, like, I always love when games do that. Those are kind of the ones that, like, I like, when that's where I feel like a game starts to make the most use of the medium of a video game itself, is when it starts to give a space for the player to ask those questions, or invites the player to ask those questions, about kind of like, what does it mean to play a video game? What does it mean to you know, engage with the story of a game and make choices and have those choices have effects and so on and so forth. But I'm going to restart day 5 real quick. And one of the things I want to make sure to do is, because it's going to open up this mind map for me, I need to undo these. Awesome. I know, like I said, I know you've got so much on your plate. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what the end result will be. Like, maybe you'll think it's really cool, maybe you won't like it. They're the kinds of games where it's like, I think it's sometimes worth it just to give something a try. Okay, but I need to break these two because I got it right for Octet. But these two I got wrong, so I need to do that, and I should get a chance. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that in the latest video. And that's, yeah, and sometimes it's worth it to give things a shot when you can. Okay. These are yes. Okay, so we get to redo these two. I'm curious how that's going to turn out, but we'll find out next time. So it is though time for me to end tonight's stream. We got through a replay of day 4 and then day 6, and that sets us up for some stuff, and also we learned some pretty valuable information about how some of these things work. So we're going to call it for tonight, and I'll be back on Monday, either with more of this or with Tunic, depending on how things go tomorrow, if I'm able to put in some practice or not. Probably won't be able to, so it might be more Pathologic, which I'm fine with. I'm having a lot of fun. So with that, Akinar, thanks for hanging out with me for a bit. Rhonda, who was here earlier, thank you for coming by. Anybody else who was around, I'm very appreciative of you. I hope everybody has a good rest of their evening and a good rest of their weekend. So long, everybody.